Are you curious to see what happened on Married at First Sight last night, Wednesday night, and what my opinion is? Stay tuned. Hi, Grandma Bev here from Life with Grandma Bev, and welcome back to my channel. Now, I've recently started revealing what I'm addicted to on TV, most of which are reality shows. And I said I would start giving you my opinion on some of them. Now, this video, like I said, is my opinion, my translations, or whatever, how I see it, what I think, just me, okay? You don't have to jump on my case about it. And, I'm trying to use my knowledge as a woman who's lived for over 70 years as to what I think some of these young people are doing. So let's get started on this one. This is going to be on Married at First Sight in Nashville. Now, this has been going on several weeks, so they're already married. The idea behind Married at First Sight is they do this scientific experiment, as they call it, and the people fill out all of this info about what they're looking for, about themselves, and then these specialists match them up, and they don't even see or meet each other until they're at the altar. Well, some are always happy, first impressions, you don't know, so they have 8 weeks to decide if they're going to stay married or do they want to get a divorce. Now, these are real marriages, and they really do go through divorces. Now, they've had quite a few success stories of people who stayed together and have had children. So, it's not like it's all, it does work. It's almost kind of like, I think, like an arranged marriage. How many of us got married, for me, the first time, somebody that you really love, more like a shotgun kind of wedding. I was 19. So, that's how I kind of think of it, arranged marriages, because you're told you're getting married, and then you got to get to know the people, though, figure out who they are on this program, and so it gets to be pretty interesting. Some of the things that people say and do are, and you think you're ready for marriage, but these people are all, I think the youngest one was 25. And that marriage, they've already called it quit. So I think we're on day 26, 27 last night. So one couple have already called it quits. So I'm going to get started talking about the couples who appeared last night. Now, not every couple appears each week. They try to, but the main ones I'm going to talk about that they showed last night. So let's see. During this week, I'm reading from my notes here, and then I'll talk about my opinion. During this episode, they pushed the newlyweds, but meaning the producers and stuff, to interact on dates and have some deeper conversations, like what happened to you as a kid that was really traumatic. One guy had to keep talking about sex stuff, Despite all their efforts, none of my opinions had changed. Oh, this is somebody else's opinion. Maybe hear this guy's opinion. There's 5 weeks left. They went on sailing trips, spa days, 12 nights, heart-to-heart talks. And not all the couples are seeing, eye to eye. So, of course, they didn't know these people. It'd be like if you, like say, if you married somebody, went down the street, hey, you want to marry me? You don't know anything about the person. But you have these 8 weeks to get to know, to decide if you want to stay married to this person. So we will start with Christopher and Nicole, and I'll put little pictures up there, or up there, wherever they appear. Nicole continues to hint that she loves her husband, Chris. It's obvious she wants him to say it first, but he is not quite ready to make that commitment. Later, he makes a mistake of telling his wife that he has made some comments she may not like, like to some of the other couples, because they get them together, 5 couples. Apparently, he told the guys that she is thicker than he usually goes for. Wrong thing to say. Thicker. Did he not learn anything from the situation with Clint? Well, I'll be telling you about the Clint thing, Clinton, Gina, whatever her name is, soon. It says, we appreciate the fact that he told her the truth, but we're not sure why he made that comment in the first place. Naturally, she's taken aback to hear that he commented on her body, but she tries to educate him on why saying something that she had said about herself could be hurtful coming from him. Duh. Something tells me that this will come back later to haunt him. Well, now this is the one couple that I have the most hope for. She's a well-built little girl, but I had the guys keep those comments to themselves. If they said something to him about his body and looks, even though he said, oh, doesn't bother me, it does, it still stings. So these two are the only ones who have actually consummated their marriage. And they seem like they're really on the path towards love. They've been having a few trials and tribulations, one of which is he has 2 dogs, she has 1. And the apartments that they put them in during this 8-week period, because they don't live in either of their own places, would only allow 2 animals. So she came up with the idea and made a sacrifice. They worked it out. They compromised where her dog stays with her dad. And then every week or whatever it is, they switch. So the dogs come back and forth. The dogs have already all met each other and they all got along well. So they solved that situation, that little thing. It could have been a big problem. I've seen that be a problem in past unions on here. So, I have hope for them. Then we have Clint and Gina, who I mentioned said a no-no. Okay. Now, Clint, he's been kind of a free spirit guy. I think he's in his late 30s. She's like early 30s, 32. And she has started her own beauty salon, her own business. So she's busy quite a bit getting that business going, rightfully so. When you start a business, as I know, you've got to put a lot into it and a lot of time. So they almost had split up right in the beginning. They almost didn't move into the apartment together, but then decided to give it a shot because they felt they were committed. Both felt committed to this experiment. So they're living in the same place, but they're in separate bedrooms. But there were issues that came up before they came back from the honeymoon to go into the apartment that they've had to deal with. Okay. He went to visit her salon to see where she works and to meet her staff. So that went pretty well. He's a real personable kind of guy. Although he appreciates her entrepreneurial spirit, he worries that she may not have a work-life balance. But he speaks with his mom, who's also an entrepreneur, and she reminds him that she may be able to set her own schedule now, but in the beginning stages, that's his mom, she had to put in a lot of groundwork, a lot of hours, and her life had to really revolve around her business. So that helped Clint deal more with Gina's, obsession, which it should be, with her business. So it says if Gina truly wants to continue her marriage, she will make time for their relationship. So they went on a couple of dates, and by the end of this, the episode, they were getting along pretty well. Now, here's what happened on their honeymoon that caused a big problem. Gina casually mentioned the one day that, she was pretty happy with the match, how they matched her with him. She doesn't typically go for gingers, but, Well, she seems to, she likes him. Well, okay, he's got red hair, a beard in red. And he didn't say too much about, what she said, but like the next day when they were with the group of all the other couples, that's the area you keep coming on. He casually mentions that he typically doesn't go for, her type of woman. He's usually into more slender, physically active women. Wrong thing to say. You got so mad at him. Yeah. It's like he saved it and he got back at her what he usually goes for. So from that point, they were really distant to each other. And in fact, she didn't even want to move in, like he said, into the apartment with him. But they're working on it. He's a real personable guy. It took me a few weeks to get used to him and his personality. He kids around a lot, and I'm like that. I kid around a lot with people, and sometimes they get taken the wrong way. So I think there's a 50-50 chance for them now. Then we have Eris and Jasmine. They talk about their past relationships. Eris confesses that he has been close to being in love, but he has retreated when he felt things got too serious. So he's built up these walls and has never let himself fall in love. And later he suggests a game where he asks all of these sexual questions. Now I should back up. Jasmine has been in love. Now to me, I think some of the things are more like infatuation kind of thing, because to me, being in love with somebody is the kind of relationship like I have with Bob. It's a long-lasting relationship, but even as you grow older and you both change, kind of just adapt and go with it with each other, and just really feel this strong connection of not wanting to even be without them around you, because my first one was different. So she's upset because she doesn't want to put out too much effort if he doesn't think he's going to be able to fall in love with her. And he already says he's not sexually attracted to her. Now, she is a beauty queen. She has been in beauty pageants and won a lot of pageants. And she's in very good physical shape. Takes, works out. She's like a cheerleader, teacher, really a neat gal. So he starts these questions. Then he begins to berate her because she hasn't had the same sexually adventurous experiences as him before getting married. He's talking about orgies, people watching, menage a trois, all that kind of stuff. And she kind of looked at him with a side eye, right? She made it clear she wanted to begin to have deeper conversations, and once again, the only thing he can talk about is sex. He's 39 years old. He says, I don't think he is capable of anything beyond a superficial conversation, so he relies on the subjects he is comfortable with. I don't hold out a lot of hope for them. He just seems like the type that should stay a bachelor, because he's had so many relationships and done everything, but never really fallen in love, has these walls up, and it's like, man, girl, you've got quite a job ahead of you if you think he's worth going after. Okay, then we have Shaquille and Kirsten. Now, Kirsten worries that Shaq, as they call him, is not putting enough effort into spending time and getting to know her. Now, these two are both very educated. And Shaquille, I think, has his master's or something at a university. He's mentoring all these four guys. And he puts a lot of time into his job because he's had all these years. These guys are both in their 30s too. She thinks that because of the expedited nature of this experiment, he should be making changes to his routine now that he was married. When she confronts him on the topic, he pretty much admits in order to make her happy, he needs to do that for himself first. He needs to be happy if he's going to make her happy. Well, they had the guys that he mentees or mentors. Oh, they were the mentees. He's the mentor. Over to meet her. And he admits to the guys that he had been offered a very lucrative job in another state and that he turned it down because he feels right now his marriage comes first. And well, she hadn't even heard about it. So she's saying, you should have discussed it with me too, even though, we would have decided for you not to, that kind of stuff. But I thought it was very nice of him to put her first when this was part of his plan for his development, and he turned it down. Let's see. Let's see, she meets the mentees. During this episode, they had so many scenes that seemed forced. She comes across to me, she's a beautiful gal, as kind of like an ice princess or ice queen. She's got these big walls up. We don't know what has happened to her in the past, but she is very reluctant to speak about it, So, she planned a home spa date for some self-care and conversation. It didn't seem that natural. And during that date, he asked her to let her guard down and talk to him. And she wouldn't. She just starts crying. What was that noise? Don't know if you heard it. So he revealed a lot about himself and his insecurities, and Kirsten still struggles with that area. So I don't know. Sometimes the way she looks at him, I think she's really got the hots for him, but she said she's not really attracted to him. Number one, she didn't want a bald guy, and his head's shaved. He shaves his head, but he's very good looking with it. Now she says she's gotten used to it. That's okay. Oh, okay. How nice of you. So I think they would make a very good power couple, though, if they do make it. I mean, my fingers are crossed on this one. I give them, at this point, a 75% chance. She just needs to start letting those walls down. I mean, she hasn't even kissed him yet. Not even at the altar. So, I don't know. And then the couple they didn't show is this Dominique and Mackenzie, I think his name was. And they're the ones that decided to get divorced. I think she was too immature. She's 25, he's in his 30s. I don't know, she just seemed like a spoiled brat to me, and she expected all these things for him to change about. And just, he wasn't what she asked for, and he, of course, retorts back, well, you weren't what I asked for either, so it's kind of like, let her go, she's too young. And I think, my God, my day, we all got married at 18, 19, 20. And here's proof that a gal in her 25 is just not ready yet. We weren't. We just grew with our kids. So, I just don't know. I don't think they'll get back together. So that'll do it for this week's opinions, my opinions, and interpretations. So please comment below, tell me what you think, share, like, and subscribe. And I hope you're all having a good viewing week on TV. I love you all. Bye.